The man who should have been forgotten. I was supposed to be dead. Officially, Elias Wren had died 7 years earlier on the frontier moon Kepri 9 during a humanitarian evacuation that turned into a massacre. The report said my shuttle malfunctioned. The memorial plaque said brave, civilian volunteer. The galaxy moved on because the galaxy always does. But the truth was simpler and far more inconvenient. I survived. Survival, however, came at a cost. Memories fracture when exposed to alien atmospheres. Prolonged cryo-sleep and trauma layered on trauma. By the time I resurfaced in human space, I wasn't a hero or a ghost. I was a nobody, a cargo clerk on Orion Station, moving sealed containers between docking rings, keeping my head down, and making sure no one looked at me long enough to ask questions. That was my life, until the day the station alarms went silent. No klaxons, no flashing red lights, just an unnatural stillness that crept through the steel corridors like a hell breath. And then a voice, not over the intercom, inside my head. Elias. I froze mid-step, one hand resting on a grav crate, my pulse hammering so hard I thought it might tear through my ribs. No one had spoken my name like that in years. Soft, familiar, intimate. I turned slowly. The corridor behind me was empty until the lights dimmed and shifted into an unfamiliar spectrum, bending toward violet and gold. The air felt charged, thick with a pressure I couldn't explain. And then she stepped forward. She was tall, impossibly so, her silhouette elegant and terrifying all at once. Her skin shimmered like starlight trapped beneath translucent glass, patterns of bioluminescence flowing across her arms and face like living constellations. Her eyes, gods, her eyes, were deep and luminous, holding centuries within them. She looked at me as if she had been searching for me across the galaxy. And when she spoke again, it wasn't in my mind this time. It was aloud. "You are older," she said softly. "But it is you. I would know your soul anywhere." My mouth went dry. "I don't know you," I said, though something inside me twisted painfully at the lie. She stepped closer. The station's gravity systems faltered around her, reacting as if she were a singularity disguised as a woman. "You saved me," she whispered, "when the stars were burning and everyone else fled." My knees nearly buckled. Kepri 9. A memory surged. Firestorms, collapsing domes, alien screams drowned by human panic. A cage, a figure bleeding light instead of blood. "No," I breathed. That was years ago. That wasn't. Her hand lifted, fingers slender and radiant, stopping just short of touching my face. "You do not remember," she said gently, "but I remember everything." And with that sentence, my quiet, invisible life shattered. Middle, the woman the galaxy feared. Her name was Sailoran. I learned it aboard her ship, a living construct grown rather than built, orbiting Orion Station like a silent judgment. The station authorities never saw it arrive. Sensors failed. Cameras glitched. To them, nothing happened at all. To me, everything did. Sailoran belonged to a species humans referred to in whispers and classified briefings as the Luminary Sovereign. A race so advanced and so rare that most believed them to be myth. They did not conquer. They did not negotiate. They intervened. When civilizations reached a point where their existence threatened the balance of the galaxy, the Luminari decided whether they would continue or be erased. Sailor Erin was not just one of them. She was their voice, their chosen emissary, their executioner, if necessary. You could destroy Earth, I said quietly as we stood in a chamber that pulsed like a living heart. She turned toward me, light rippling across her skin. Yes, she said, but I have not. Why? Her gaze softened in a way that didn't belong on a being feared by entire civilizations. Because once, she said, a human refused to let me die. The memory came back in fragments. I saw myself younger, reckless, ignoring evacuation orders. I saw the containment vault collapsing under orbital bombardment. I saw her, smaller than, wounded, shackled by tech meant to siphon her energy. I remembered the choice: stay and die, or leave her behind. I broke the cage. I dragged her out as the dome shattered. I remembered her hand gripping mine as the world burned. And I remembered nothing after that. They wiped your memory, Sailor Erin said, answering the question I hadn't spoken. Your people feared what you knew, what you had touched. I laughed bitterly. Sounds like us. She watched me closely. When the Luminari learned what you had done, she continued, they demanded your execution. A human who interfered in sovereign affairs could not be allowed to live. My blood ran cold. So why am I still breathing? Sailor Erin stepped closer. So close I could feel warmth radiating from her. Because I spoke your name, she whispered, and claimed you under my protection. The galaxy's most dangerous woman had saved me, because I saved her first. But protection came with a price. The Luminari Council had convened. Humanity was under review. Earth's expansion, its wars, its hunger for control, it all balanced on the edge of annihilation. Sailor Erin had been sent to decide, and she had chosen to find me. You can't expect me to influence something like that, I said. I'm nobody. Her lips curved, not quite a smile, but close. You are the reason I still believe in mercy. That night, if night could be defined in a ship that lived outside time, she showed me the galaxy through her eyes. Civilizations rising and falling. Species wiped out not in hatred, but in necessity. And beneath it all, loneliness. Does it hurt? I asked, being the one who decides. She was quiet for a long moment. Every time, she said, that was when I realized the truth. She wasn't here just to judge humanity. She was here because she didn't want to do it alone. The choice that changed everything. The Council's verdict was approaching. Sailor Erin stood before a projection of Earth, her light dimmer than before. If humanity continues as it is, she said, the balance will break. Billions will suffer across systems you do not even know exist. And if they're erased? I asked. Her voice barely held steady. They will never have the chance to become better. I stepped forward. Then give them that chance. She turned sharply. They will not listen to me. Then don't speak as a sovereign, I said. Speak as a woman who survived because someone cared. Silence filled the chamber. Finally, she whispered my name again, not as a memory, as a plea. Stand with me? The council appeared, vast beings of light and shadow, their presence crushing. Sailor Erin spoke, and then, unexpectedly, so did I. I told them about Kepri 9, about choice, about how one act of mercy changed 2 lives, and might change an entire species. I expected dismissal. Instead, I felt something shift. The council deliberated, and then a decree echoed across the void. Humanity would be spared, on one condition. Sail Aaron would remain among them, not as judge, but as guardian. Exile, she accepted without hesitation. Ending, a name remembered. Months later, Earth looked different from orbit. Hope does that. Sail Aaron stood beside me on a balcony overlooking the planet. You will age, she said softly. I will not. I know, I replied. Her hand found mine. I will remember you, she said, in every lifetime. I smiled. That's okay. I'll remember you in this one. She leaned close, her forehead resting against mine, light and warmth and eternity wrapped into one being. And when she whispered my name again, it wasn't a reminder of the past. It was a promise of the future.